Good afternoon, class. My name is Joe from Group 6, and today I'm going to share with you the topic of microblogging. Here is the table of contents. First, I'm going to talk about the definition of microblogging. Then, I'll follow up with an example and the effects of microblogging. After which, I'll start by explaining our problem statement and also talk about some of the proposed solutions. After that, I'll follow up with a brief summary, and then there's going to be a discussion at the end of this 10-minute student-led discussion. First off, what is the definition of microblogging? Well, as the name suggests, microblogging is when a user posts short content online. The content could be in various forms. For example, it can be a few words, it can be a picture or a few pictures, it can even be just a large poster, or it can be any combination of what I just mentioned. So to go back, microblogging is basically just a short and concise form of content generated online for the audience. And here are some examples of microblogging. First, I want you to take out your phones, but don't worry, it's for the class. Okay? Are your phones all out? Okay. Now log on to any social media of your choice. It can be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that it's a social media and not a game. Okay. Now you're logged on, and please ignore your feed and start scrolling and notice what is on the ads. Okay, only focus on sponsored content. Have you noticed anything? Well, if the sponsored content happens to be a video, there's a likely chance that it's between 30 seconds to 150 seconds. Usually, microblogging videos are less than 2 minutes. If it's just words, then it's usually around 30 to 100 words. And if it's a poster, there'll be highlights about the discount percentage, important dates, or it can be a picture of people lining up for something, or my favorite, the close up of food such as pizza or ice cream. Now, the point of the microblogs is to get the consumers reading and listening without feel like they're doing a lot of work. It has to feel natural. Here are some of the effects of microblogging. First off, companies who use microblogging have seen increased sales, especially during the holiday season. And this is so lucrative, it makes them so much money that companies will even start creating their own holidays, like their own anniversaries. Second benefit of microblogging is that it increases customer engagement and increases brand loyalty and following, since customers can see what their brand is up to online. Third, the third beneficial effect for the company is that the company will have increased brand visibility. So for customers who already like the brand, they can see that the company is working hard for them every day and trying up new things. For customers that have not heard of the brand, this is a good opportunity to branch out and let potential consumers know that you are out there, your company actually exists. Now, I'm going to talk about the problem statement. For our group, the question is as follows. As a social media marketer hired by a company, how can you increase their social media follower account? And for the question, how to increase the social media followers, there are two proposed solutions on my part. My partner will introduce his solution later on. For the first solution is staying relevant. You want to make sure that your posts are interesting and are current by looking out for trends. And by figuring out what the trend is, you can actually be shared and be recommended, be amplified by the algorithm. There are a few things you can do to make sure that this happens. You can see what's popular, what meme is trending, or what holiday is near. By writing this way, the algorithm can place you in front of your competitors. And also, some trick that companies use is that they will try to make jokes or tie their content with familiar topics because that gets shared more easily and also gets more hashtag. Another benefit of that is that it feels more natural instead of being forceful. But you have to be careful when you do this because you might run into controversy and politics. You don't want to do that. For the second solution, being Instagrammable. Instead of changing your digital post, I want you to think about physical. Make it so that people will want to visit and share their trip to your store. Does the lighting match the right mood? Do the decorations in your store make the store special, magical? Are the products designed and lined up neatly? You need to think about what makes your brand unique before doing this. And make your store location as cool or as fun or as pretty as possible without losing track of what your brand means. And here or there, you can see in Taiwan that cafes and conventions often have walls to do the job. Sometimes they will have stands, and usually those stands are are filled with popular characters. It can be anime characters or even K-pop idols. You get the point. And here's a brief summary. Now, because I already mentioned the previous solution description and what you need to notice, I'm going to talk about the drawbacks. For the drawbacks of solution one staying relevant, you need to constantly look for trends. Also, it will require insider knowledge of social media and internet culture in order to function across multiple platforms. And on what I just said, multiple platforms, actually the multiple platforms are actually increasing. So you might need to manage multiple accounts at once, and it can be time consuming. For solution two, Instagrammable, the first drawback is that by changing your store, there's going to be renovation costs, first of all. Second, during innovation, you cannot have customers. Or even if the renovation is done in a small amount of time, that will still have opportunity costs that you need to think about. Last but not least, your renovations are limited by the size of your store location and the size. And here's the discussion part. You can take a quick look and take a picture. Okay, and here are our sources for this project. Thank you all for listening, and I wish you all pass on your midterm exam. Now I will hand over control to my teammate Kent.